All right, here we have a fish. It is made out of a few key components. The head, ribs, and tail are all a combination of wire and cardboard. And then the middle spine is a piece of rope. And then there's two dowels to hold. The main piece of rope is roughly a little over 2 feet long. What you need to do before you cut the rope is you can see here there's two pieces of wire. You actually wrap wire around the rope right where you're going to cut it, and then you cut it. Otherwise, it'll just start unraveling. So you first do that on both ends, and then you cut it, and then you use you basically use the wire's characteristic on its own. So the dowel just goes straight up, actually in through the middle of the rope, and then you put wire on either side to hold it in place. The ribs you can't see right now in terms of their composition, but what I did was I got a piece of wire that's roughly as long as I want the rib to be, and I slid it through the center of the rope. And then you cut out a piece of cardboard that's roughly one long rib shape that goes all the way across. And then you attach the rib to the wire, and then you paper mache the wire and the rib together. So there's just a wire underneath, a rib on top, and then you paper mache the whole thing together. And then I went over the center, so it's just one big rib. Did that in different sizes. I seem to have 6 ribs. I probably just made that up. That's my dog. So yeah, little and then to big in terms of the ribs. The head, I originally did this really fussy like clay sculpture that I did paper mache on top of. But when we redid these for Red Moon, we just did like, imagine splitting this in half and unfolding it. So it's like 2 fish skull halves. With one seam that is in the cardboard, and then we just folded them together and stapled, and then paper mache'd on top of them, or painted. I can't remember if we paper mache'd, but yeah, so that was a lot easier to do. When we did it for Red Moon, we just basically cut out the shape out of cardboard instead of sculpting it. It was a lot easier and a lot quicker to do. And then the tail is wire again, and 2 pieces of cardboard, or maybe 1, I can't tell. It's a little harder to tell with this tail because it is, again, solid and I can't see inside, but I see a piece of wire right there, so I'm pretty sure it's 2 pieces of wire, a piece of cut cardboard, and again, paper mache together. I'm not 100% sure how I attach the tail to the end. Probably to the stick somehow, because the stick, as you can see, when you move this stick, which again, like the other end, is coming up through the center of the rope, it moves. So that this is, so I don't quite know how I attach this tail. I'd have to deconstruct it, but I don't particularly want to do that. So yeah, somehow I attached the tail. Very likely I attached it to the rope like everything else. That's kind of the key to this puppet, because attaching everything to the rope makes it so that when you move the rope, the whole fish moves. So yeah, and then the head was just wired onto, you can see I poked holes in the top. This is kind of old, but I poked holes in the top and then wired it onto the rope in a couple of places. And the rope kind of extends into the head. And then the painting was pretty simple. It's white with like blue accents. 6 are black, inside of the head is black. So that's about it. Yeah, so here's a far look. That's the whole fish. And that is it. Let me know if you have any questions.